once a guy gets in and starts to have a little success, all of a sudden you hear all these good things about him. Remember when Fred Warner said Trey Lance was dicing people up in practice? Like, okay, so then wait a minute. I thought the
What happened
practice
to
was
that?
the thing that held Trey
Yeah.
Lance back because he was so bad in practice. So is Fred Warner lying or
Yeah.
like, again, when
Also, Brock Purdy breaks out and people start telling these stories about, oh yeah, man, I saw it in practice. He was so good. Oh yeah, you didn't say that before though, right? He was third in the depth chart and no one was saying this. And Jimmy was playing and no one was like, hey, we need to see Brock. Like when Jimmy stepped out of the end zone in Denver and the Niners lost to a terrible team, no one on the team said, hey, what about Brock? He was there in training camp. He's prepared. He's great. I didn't hear that. I heard we're back to 49 football. We love Jimmy. So I feel like a lot of these guys are just full of it when they talk about their quarterback evaluations. No one knows. No one knows until they're in the game and we all see it for ourselves.
Jimmy had an interception, a fumble, and a safety in that Broncos game. And then he did it again against the Chiefs. He had 2 of those games in 1 year. And yep, that's 49er football. People love him. I just
also put up 14 points against Atlanta. 14.
I just want to know how these people are doing in training camp. How is it that I don't know how Trey performed in training camp to begin this year? I don't know. Same thing with Brock. Some people said, oh, yeah, we saw it in training camp. And then Jason Aponte was there in training camp, and he said Brock looked awful in training
Brett
camp.
Coleman said he saw it. It's like, yeah, again, you said that after Brock broke out. You didn't say that, and so you can't say it now. I didn't see it with Brock because, again, what makes Brock a gamer is his surprising level of confidence and calmness on the field and his mobility and ability to escape pressure. You don't see that in practice. He just looks like a little guy throwing short passes in practice. It's not impressive. But in a game, it's like, wow, how did he get away from that dude? Wow. 1,000 praise freaking Houdini out there. Like, that is impressive. But you don't see that in practice. And then with Trey, like, his numbers were inconsistent, but the context was he's going against the number 1 defense. No one's open. He's got Brandon Ayuk, and that's about it. And some people crushed him for it. Some people gave him the context. It's hard to judge it. It's practice.
What's the best throw you've ever seen Brock Purdy make? And can you even name one that jumps to mind? And I know I'm putting you on the spot.
It's not the throw. It's like the play. You know what I'm saying? Like the 2 plays. One where he extended the play to against the Cowboys in the playoffs. Did he roll left or he scrambled left? He found Kittle back on the right. He wasn't even in the pattern. Just that level of improv was impressive. And it was like one of the bigger plays in the game. Even though they only scored 19 points. That was nice. And then the one that Ayuk dropped in the back of the corner of the end zone where he scrambled left, scrambled right, scrambled left, scrambled right. Like, that was cool. Those were the 2 plays, but it's like he's never going to make a throw from the pocket that you're like, oh my God, that was a thing of beauty. I'm a tear just dropped from my eye because of that. Like, that's not who he is. It's not who he is. He's a little Fran Tarkenton out there scrambling around. It's fun to watch. He's Peter Pan.
Even that incompletion to Ayuk, the throw itself was a regular type throw. The play, the scrambling before that was amazing. The one throw I think of with Brock is one of his first throws against the Dolphins. Kittle actually brought this up because it was the throw he
against the blitz. Yeah, sure.
Yes. And that was a great read and a great throw. Absolutely. Yeah. But other than that, I can't really think of one. I can think of the long touchdown he had to Ayuk where the ball was underthrown and almost intercepted against, I think it was Tampa Bay. I can think of that one. I can't think of like the stud throw. It's like, to me, I would feel so much better about the 49ers quarterback situation if they said, we're going to give Trey the year, or at least first half of the year, and Brock's going to be the number 2 when he's healthy. Like, holy hell. Then all of a sudden I feel really good about the 49ers quarterback situation.
No, Brock's never going to make wild throws. He's never going to make wild throws. The best part of his game is his calmness, his vision, his ability to find open guys like late in the down and to create. And that's all good stuff. I like all that stuff, but is it enough? It's good enough for Kyle. Is it good enough for a Super Bowl victory? We don't know. With Trey, I can think of a wild throw right now in Chicago last year, second quarter to Ray. I in the press box, I was behind it and I thought, don't throw that. He's not open. And when the ball was in the air, I thought it was going to be picked and he was like layered it between 2 guys. I was like, wow, I thought it was like, not just was it a great throw. It was a confident throw from a quarterback who hasn't played much and really has no experience to build confidence on. I was like, wow, I wouldn't have thrown that. And he did. I don't know that Brock would have.
or the throw to Ayuk. I can't remember who was it against Arizona on the left side. Ayuk's one-on-one on the left, and Lance rips it to the sideline. I don't even know how it got in there. He ripped it.
Yes.
I want all the stuff you just described about Brock is a perfect description of a backup quarterback to me.
Yep.
And all the stuff we're talking about with Trey is what you hope for a high-end starter. Now, there's other stuff that goes along with that, to be fair.
Right.
I want to be fair and honest. But to me, I want my starter to be a guy that is at least capable of that stuff. David Hasselhoff, watching on YouTube. David Hasselhoff, huh? Okay. Trey had a few throws in 4 games that Brock could never make. Trey can make every throw Brock made in 8 games. With a lot of exclamation points.
But again, Kyle traded up for CJ Beathard, who's never made a wow throw in his life. Like, I don't think this is something Kyle cares about, which is why we're in this situation.
Robert Bentello on YouTube. Trey should get at least 8 games to prove he belongs. That gives Brock extra time to heal and see what we have in Trey. We've been 3-5 before and been okay, which is kind of the point we made earlier. I almost wonder, Grant, if maybe can you put Brock on the PUP list to start the year? Because then you take all the pressure off of Brock because he can't come back. And you take some of the pressure off of Trey because he's not looking over your shoulder because he's on the PUP list. And then you can say to him, hey, you got 6 games. Take it or leave it, Yeah,
but that would express confidence in Trey. And the Niners, everything they're saying is no confidence in Trey. Super desperate for Brock to come back. He's going to play as soon as he's ready. So PUP, that would be 6 weeks, right?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know if they're willing to do that. I feel like they're going to say, Brock, get your ass out there. In so many words.
That not only takes the pressure off of Brock to come back, it takes the pressure off of Trey because he's not going to have somebody looking over his shoulder, or at least not Brock looking over his shoulder. And it's a get out of jail free card for Kyle Shanahan and the Niners, so to speak, because they could just be like, hey, Brock's ready to go. Trey hasn't been great. We're making the switch now. I told you in March that Brock was the starting quarterback.
Yep. Hey, I think it's a smart plan, and that's why I think the Niners won't do it. I think it's great, though. A hell of a suggestion. If they're listening, they should do it.
Listen, I'm full of good
me and you, as honorary quality control, spend so many hours of our lives trying to fix the Niners' preposterous situations. And sometimes we get solutions, but it's all for naught. That was a good one.
It's an honor to be in the quality control.
It's a way of life. Anyone can be quality control. You just have to want to do it. Not a lot of people do these days. Thankless job.
My egotistical aura says we don't have 8 games to lose with Trey. No way. Why do you think you're going to lose 8 games?
0-8?
Like, why?
I think anyone playing with Christian McCaffrey and Kittle and Debo and Ayuk is going to look good. I think that's what we're seeing with Brock. Remember, Jimmy played really well as soon as McCaffrey came on the team.
Yes, he did.
The offense got a little bit better with Brock. But let's see what Trey looks like with McCaffrey. I'm thinking that's going to look good too. I mean, they could average 5.5 yards per carry as a team with Lance and McCaffrey running the zone read. I'm just saying.